You cooked in the backyard. Back there. It was nice. It was warm, but it was nice. Even today, it's nice when the breeze hits you. Stop for a second.
just had that quick drop-in sensation. Something I haven't felt in a long time. But no urge to run home. So the first two clips you saw was from yesterday, and the clip that you're about to see next was from today. Yesterday I went to pick up my niece from school around 2:35. I don't know, I just felt kind of strange yesterday when I went to pick her up. I started feeling sick to my stomach, but this time I was able to go by myself. I went, I crossed the street. Unlike sometime last week, I couldn't even cross the street to pick up my niece. My daughter went and with me. Actually, my daughter said she'll go, but I said I'll go. But at the stop to cross the street, I don't know, I just couldn't cross the street. I just felt completely out of it. But she went and picked her up. I mean, she went across the street and get her, but I just stayed there feeling so strange. But today I was able to go. I told my daughter I'll go by myself. Sometimes I feel like when I'm with someone, I feel like I'm going to embarrass my family. You know, if I start freaking out in front of them and they'll get embarrassed. They don't want to be around me. I think that's why it bothers me sometimes. So yesterday when I went to pick up my niece, I just sat there. If I was going to embarrass anyone, it was going to be me embarrassing myself. As for my niece, if I freak out, I don't think she would have like really said anything, or she would just like, "Are you okay?" But you know, like with older kids, like my daughter, she's a teenager. Teenagers would be more embarrassed around, like, you know, their parents. Like my niece is not even a teen yet, so I mean, right now I'm starting to like, you know, I wouldn't mind going with my parents even though they're older, but I'm I'm trying to be around my parents because they're older, and then, you know, one day I won't have them and then I'll regret not being around them. And I'm also trying to teach my daughter that, you know, one day I won't be there. So, I mean, at the same time, I don't want her to worry about me, but I want to see her that, I want her to see me hanging out with my parents, and so she will know, hey, my dad's not embarrassed around, you know, grandma, grandpa, why should I be, you know? And because before, I really never had a problem being around my parents, you know, like, I didn't care if people was like, oh, this guy is, oh, why is he hanging around with his parents? But at the same time, I will always say something like, you know, your parents, without your parents, you wouldn't be there. I mean, if my parents were like abusive or whatever, then I wouldn't be wanting to be around them. But my parents were always there for me. So, you know, like right now I'm going to do this, they're there for me. So I'm not embarrassed to say, you know, they're helping me. They're not pushing me away. They're not embarrassed by how I am, you know, but I can understand, like, you know, if I start freaking out and my daughter's there, I don't want her to feel embarrassed that, hey, to be around me, you know. Sometimes I feel like that's how she'll feel like if I freak out, but, you know, I don't want to ask her because I don't want her to say no, you're not embarrassing me, to make her feel like she has to lie just to say that, no, you're not embarrassing me or anything like that, you know. But like I mentioned, I don't want to talk to her like that, and then she'll start saying, well, yeah, you are embarrassing me, blah blah blah, stuff like that. So I don't really say anything to her. Like, you know, if I say, um if I ask you, am I embarrassing you because I'm not able to like do this and that with you, or if I feel like I'm freaking out of nowhere, you know, she'll probably say no because she's seen how I am. She knows that I'm not being lazy. She knows that I don't want to be this way because she see me leaving the house feeling really crappy, feeling like shit. So, you know, I mean, I don't really understand. I mean, I don't really know how she feels about how I'm going to. I know she does. She knows that I don't like it because who would like being stuck at home? You know, before we would always go somewhere. You know, me and her and her mom. Sometimes just me and her, depending if her mom wants to go with her, so she has to go to work or whatever. So, because before my daughter and I would go to the mall, like when I pick her up from school, when she was in middle school, I would take her to the mall. We don't buy anything, but she just wants to go walk around, look around. Sometimes I'll take my niece and my nephew with her, so I miss those times. So, um, those are the good times, and I think that's what's pushing me to leave the house so I can get back to those habits. But there's always something that's going to remind me of having anxiety. Sometimes it can be my family asking me something like, "Oh, you went for a walk today. You went far. We're proud of you." I mean, I'm glad they're proud of me, but at the same time, I told them they don't need to talk to me like that because it makes me feel like I would never be normal like how I was, because they're like I'm being reminded that I have anxiety. There's time I'm walking around the block and I don't feel anxiety. I don't feel normal. I'm just walking. I'm happy and stuff like that. And then when I go home, they're like, "Oh, you were gone for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, stuff like that." They're like, "Oh, you're doing really good. Just keep pushing." I'm glad they notice it, but at the same time, I told them, they don't have to like remind me that I'm doing good, because by them reminding me, it feels like I'm gonna be stuck like this for a long time. Like I'm always being reminded that I have anxiety. If it's not someone telling me, you're doing good, keep going, you'll be farther, then it's my own mind. It's like, "Oh, you went for half an hour. Oh my God." Then I'll start freaking out like, "Oh my God, I did half an hour. Will I be able to do it again?" There's times that I would go home and then I would be like looking at my videos like, "Damn, I was gone for half an hour." Then I'll start shaking and then I'm like, "Will I be able to do that again?" You know? So it's not always like how my family's like, "Oh, you did great and you did half an hour. Tomorrow you can probably do 45 minutes. It's not just them. It's sometimes it's just me. I wouldn't be saying that they're being negative to me. They're happy and they want to push me farther so I can be better, but at the same time it feels like I'm always being reminded of my panic attacks. So like I said, it's not always about my family reminding me, it's me reminding myself too. So I think that's the reason why sometimes once I get home I feel panicky, because I'm like, "Oh my God, I was gone for this long. you know what if I was gone an extra 5 minutes because something had happened to me?" It's those thoughts that run in my mind, and I know I'm not the only one, but that's how inside is. But also, I'm gonna start driving again pretty soon. I just had to. When I start driving again, maybe this week and next week, I'm going to drive around the block, work my way up to, from around the block to another block. Like every day, I'm gonna go from one different street to another street to another street, and then go into the busy main roads. When I go on the main streets, I'm gonna do it when there's little to no traffic, and then work my way up during traffic hour. Once I get used to that, then I'll go on the freeway. I don't want to do it with anyone in the car because I want to be able to prove to myself that I can do it on my own. You know, I don't want to depend on a safe person, because I feel like if I had to depend on somebody, on a safe person, then I would never be able to do it by myself. Like how I used to be able to go to work. I used to work out during the graveyard shift. I was the only person in the big warehouse for 6 hours by myself. Nobody. I was able to do that. Of course, I didn't have anxiety back at the time, but I want to be able to do things on my own. Most people aren't working in a big warehouse by themselves. You know, there's always someone around. For me, I was by myself in a large building, working in the middle of the night to the morning by myself. And then there'll be the morning shift with, like, you know, there'll be 50, 60, so hundreds of people at work when I'm by myself at night. So I'm trying to get back to that part, you know, being able to do things without depending on other people. And at the same time, I remember a part of my life where I needed help, but I didn't want to depend on someone because, you know, I didn't want to stop someone else from doing what they were doing just to help me out. I feel like I was wasting someone else's time by stopping them to come and help me. So my mind is like, you know, you need to ask for help, go ask for help, you know. But then I was like, nah, I don't want to bother anyone. I think that's my problem. And sometimes when I need to lift something up heavy at work, and then I see everyone busy at their own, doing their own things, that's when I was working with other people. But I'm like, nah, I'll just do it by myself, you know. So I think that's, so in a way I kind of think my anxiety came from myself, like from how what I was doing, and I didn't know that it would lead me to having a panic attacks, you know, because I'm pretty sure anxiety, you can have panic attacks out of nowhere, but it has to be something that triggers it in the long run. What I mean is, like, something could have built up in your body, you know, like whatever happened can slowly get to you without you even knowing it, and then one day, bam, your body, your mind can't handle it, and then you just have a panic attack. Because I know some people that say they have anxiety for years, but they don't have anxiety or panic attack. They'll just feel a little bit panicky, and they'll just go away. You know, once they just, like, don't pay attention to it. They don't even have any symptoms. They'll just feel a little panicky, and then it'll just go away. So that's why I think that I might have anxiety for a long time, but nothing ever pushed me into having a panic attack. So right now, I'm just trying to go back into my normal life. If I'm gonna have anxiety, I'm gonna have anxiety. But if I don't have any of the symptoms, I'll be even happier, you know. I mean, there's some symptoms that will get to me all the time, and then some that won't get to me at all. You know, like right now, I'm looking at the corner of the door of the room, and it looks like I'm sliding down. It's because of the angle I'm sitting at. So, and my neck is tilted, so it's like everything looks like it's doing that, and it kind of throws me off. Like I feel like I'm sliding. It's because of the way I'm sitting down. But if I'm sitting down correctly, you know, my head is straight, I'm looking straight, then I'm okay. But if I'm slanting my neck and I'm looking at something, and then I'm thinking, hey, that thing is slanted, and I'm slanting, I'm gonna fall right down. Then, you know, I'm letting my mind get to me. So that's how it is. But other than that, I'm gonna hopefully drive again. Once I get comfortable driving, go look for a job, and yeah, that's pretty much it.